All right, yeah, Penn State. I really thought the first night we did a good job of showing some resolve. We were down, came back, and they tied it, and it was good to get the win there on the road. Hard place to play, and I thought the second night, I liked us for about 52 minutes. I thought the last 8 minutes of the game we got away from what we need to do to win hockey games, and starts with taking penalties, and we got to do a better job with that, and just managing the game a little bit better. And we've done a great job when we've been in those situations. And sometimes you can lose some respect for what it takes to win hockey games, and we didn't do a good job of that. And but we hung in there. I thought we had some multiple opportunities in overtime. We were right on top of their goalie a few times to finish it. So then obviously playing Michigan this weekend, and I'm excited about it. It's a special, one of the many special things about playing at Michigan State, the opportunity to play in this rivalry series, and it's the first game of the series, and program we have a ton of respect for, and looking forward to the first game.
Done. Since you played here, was there a moment, a game, an incident, an event that made this rivalry personal to you at all?
Well, it's not about me, right? This rivalry's been around for a super long time, so it's not. I think just growing up in the state of Michigan, right? This is where this one's different in every sport, right? You grow up on either you're green or blue, and I think that for our guys, especially our guys that are from the area or the guys who were here last year, understand that it's a special thing. You look at the fan bases, how important it is to them, and the alumni base, and even that's a ways down the road. But when we get the chance to play at LCA, that'll be the largest crowd to watch a game indoor in college hockey every year. That's what it is. So that place will be slammed. So I don't think there's one moment. I feel thankful to be a part of it, and representing our university in it, and our guys feel the same way.
Is your team mature enough now that you don't have to warn them about not getting coaxed into stuff after the whistles in a rivalry like this, because that's going to happen?
Yeah, that's the thing with hockey, right? It's an emotional game. You want to play with emotion, but you can't let your emotions control you, right? So you got to get right to the line there, and I understand, that's part of what makes it special. But I think we learned tough lessons, in a couple of years here of not doing a great job of that, and you think our guys remember that. We've talked about it, but once you get out there and the game gets going, it's tough, right? So we just got to focus on, again, we got 2 more days of practice, focus on that, and be ready to go when we get to Yost.
Adam, I was wondering how the teams stack up against each other now compared to last year, or just strengths, weaknesses. Just what do you think is maybe different than last season?
I think they got a really good team, and I think we do too. I think they got a ton of talent. They're very good on the power play, and they definitely can score goals. So I think it's very similar type matchup. And I think regardless of where teams are at and when they play, that's kind of what makes it special. Is it's going to bring out the best in everyone, and that's what you want for your team, right? We want to see their best, and they want to see our best, and I think that'll be the case on Friday.
Coach, last year you guys came out in the first game and just didn't go your way, like you said. I remember you talking about how the guys got too excited for it. A lot of guys coming back. Just do you think you have kind of that advantage where they have a lot of new faces, where kind of that first matchup you'll be more comfortable in the matchup?
Yeah, I think both teams have new guys, right? And so there's turnover on both sides. So our guys can't assume that. You got to go through the process of preparing to play and make sure you're in the right mindset. But I think our leadership group does a good job of that, and it's always. Obviously, every weekend we're preparing for where we're going to play, but it's about us going and playing the best hockey we can play, and especially our sport. I think it's a sport that it's so fluid and moving, right? So you got to try to master being yourself, and again, we got 2 more practices to try to do that, and then Friday look to do the same.
Obviously, the order changes every year, but going to Yost on Friday, playing the first game away in a rivalry like this, what does that do for your team? Does it help you maybe focus them in, getting them on the road like that?
I don't think it really matters, to be honest with you. I think once you get out there and start playing, right? Obviously, they're very good in their own building, and they got a great crowd, and it'll be a great environment for our guys. But we played in a lot of great environments this year, and I think that's for development and for guys at Michigan State. You want to play in those type of venues, and I think regardless of how the schedule comes out, and then you play it.
And then Isaac Howard scoring at 4 goals Friday, I think, against Penn State is really turned a corner. I think he leads the nation in goals right now with 18. Have you seen anything change in his game that maybe he's getting rewarded for work, or what exactly is going on there that has made him round this?
Yeah, he's been a driver offensively for sure for us. I think this is fourth year I've had a chance to coach Ike, and just it's been pretty cool to see his evolution. And credit to him, he's put a ton of time in, right? And I think there was no doubt he was obviously on the offensive side of the puck is very talented and gifted, and things that we would never take credit for trying to teach him. But I think away from the puck is where he's taken a step. And when we talked in the summer, he had an opportunity to sign and things that he needed to work on, if he was looking to play more. And we're starting to use him on the penalty kill. Is you got to be better away from the puck, and you can't just wait to use your energy when you're on offense. And that's because we care about Ike. I think again, 4 years with the kid. I want him to see him reach his dreams here at Michigan State and then afterwards. And for him to do that, he needs to take a step in that area, and he has.
Is there anything about Yost that makes it different or unique than other Big Ten venues that you've been to?
No, obviously there's a history in there, right? It's a cool building, and they got a good student section, and but I think once you get in there and after that first five, and end up playing hockey, right? So it'll be loud, it'll be a great environment again, but I think that's what makes it special. And I think everyone always throws out, the greatest rivalry or this and that. And like everyone, there's a ton of great ones in college hockey, and I think that's what college athletics, how it should be. And everyone sees it through their own window. I think you look at out East, BC is a great rivalry. St. Lawrence and Clarkson's an unbelievable one. Tech and Northern, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Denver, North Dakota. There's a ton of really good rivalries, and we feel fortunate to be part of one of those.
Coach, last year the Tiernan, Tanner, and Tomey line was really key for you guys in your matchups against them down the stretch last year. You have them back together. Just kind of what made them so successful last season against this Michigan team specifically?
Yeah, most nights they've been good, regardless of where we're playing, right? It wasn't just Michigan. I think that they're real consistent. I think they know who they are. Each one of them brings kind of a special element. Tommy's obviously got a ton of speed and competitive, and Tanner's got a nose for the net, but he's a competitive guy and shouts. He plays 200 feet, and so you put three of those guys together. What I like too is they really embrace what they need to be, and that's what makes them special. And that's hard for young players, I think, to understand. Some teams can, you get lost in what line I'm on, and that doesn't matter to our guys, So I think that's what they've done a really good job of, and when their number's called, they're ready to go.
For the players who haven't participated in this rivalry yet, is there a specific message to them to maybe either calm them down or get them prepared, or is it more kind of you relying on your players that have played to kind of lead them and guide them a little bit?
Yeah, you hope that the leadership group, right, does a good job of that and understand. And again, it's finding that balance between a fierce rivalry and respect, right? And so make sure you respect your opponent, and our guys have done a good job of that, and I think they understand that. We've talked about it a little bit, but I do think you got to get out there, and once the fur starts flying a little bit, it's different, right? So you got to put your foot in there and be ready to go. And so we got some new guys, and they'll find out quick if they don't know what it's all about.
And then I don't think we've seen Gavin O'Connell since the Lindenwood series. Any update on him?
Potential this weekend.
Coach, both games at Penn State, team went down early, and like they have multiple times this season, a very quick response from them. What do you like from that, just going into this rivalry series, knowing that it can always go either way? There's always a lot of excitement, more emotion, knowing that your team has shown that response time and time again.
Yeah, there's a belief in the room, right? Again, I think sometimes you can just look at the score and say, you're not playing good. I think there was multiple times I thought we played pretty good, and we ended up down, So, and vice versa. We've started with a lead and maybe not playing that good. It can be fool's gold. So, really focusing on quality of play, And so for our guys, I think they understand what that standard is, and if they're not meeting that standard, we got to let them know. And if they are, encourage them to keep doing it that way, and just stay with it. Hockey's a great sport in the sense that it's 60 minutes. A lot can happen in a short amount of time, And so if you deviate from trying to be us, I think that's important for our group, right? If we deviate and try to do it individually, like we have success when we play team hockey, and we have success when we play with winning habits. And if we don't, I think we leave it to chance. And so our guys understand that, but it's human nature. You got to fight that, So we're trying to do it for 60 minutes, and we're getting better at that, but we still got some work to do. And I think this weekend, again, that's the focus, right? Let's do it one shift at a time for 60 minutes, 65 minutes, whatever it takes.
And then also last weekend, with no Red, no Gavin, Griffin Jarecki got to keep seeing some time on the ice, Nathan Mackey getting some time. What have you liked from those guys that have had those opportunities to step up and get on the ice and kind of prove themselves?
Done a great job. I know it's not easy when you're not in the lineup, right? You got to be a great team guy, and we really want to make sure those guys understand that they're just as important as the guys that play on the power play. Like how you practice, how you prepare, earn your teammates' respect by not tripping over your lip if you're not playing. And long when they're gone, 20 years from now, you come to alumni, that's what guys are going to remember, right? How was your attitude? And so the guys have done a great job. Their numbers called, and Griffin brings speed and competitiveness, and I think Mackey does too. And I think that those guys are ready to go and did a nice job for us, and now they got to keep the same mindset.
The NHL Central Scouting rankings came out, the midterm grades, and Shane Van Sage is 36th, I want to say, on that list. What does it say about his work ethic and also your program's development model that a player who was a little bit underrated coming in can be ranked so highly among North American prospects everywhere?
Yeah, that's obviously rankings. Those will change too, and it's not where Shane will be a draft pick, and it's not about getting drafted. It's about playing, So he understands that and keeps working. I think, but Shane, again, young player, but understands who he is. That's really hard, right? And so he's a power forward that is great below the dots. He's really helped our team this year. We think we got a pretty good hockey team, and he's a big piece of it. I think that helps elevate him in those circumstances. But what I like about Shane, he doesn't care about any of that. He cares about, one, our team being great, and two, improving every day. And he's had a great first half of his freshman year. Thankful we have him, and when he's that that young of a player, I think he's just scratching the surface of what he's going to be.
And then kind of gearing back toward the rivalry, the Big Ten championship last season, spot in the Frozen Four on the line. This season, 2 top 10 teams. When is the last time this rivalry was so intense like this, with so much riding on this rivalry?
I mean, I'm not a historian. I wouldn't know like the last time. I feel like no matter what it is, you know what I mean. Like I think obviously we had some years where we were lean. They had some years where they were lean. I think those games still meant a lot to both schools. So, but I do think the fact that I think it's great for the state, right? We want young hockey players to aspire to play college hockey, and you got us in Michigan. Western Michigan's doing an unbelievable job there, right? So you got three schools right in our state that are great examples for kids of if you have a dream of playing college hockey, you got 3 great options.